All
It's
right.
let's get back
You
to it.
ready to cut these cards?
Absolutely.
Now, are we doing a reading for you specifically, or would you like to do a general reading? Anyone that's hearing this and listening, I'm sure that something's going to resonate. They're listening for a reason. There's a message that's going to be in here for them.
Let's do it for me.
Great. Do you have a specific question or theme or something that you want to focus this on?
Specific theme? I don't know. Let's talk about progression. I mean, over the next 5 to 10 years, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I will say also that tarot to me is not a tool to sort of predict the future or see the future.
Okay.
That can be a very common misconception.
Okay.
The tarot is more about tapping into, like I said, that information you hold within yourself. So anything that's like a possible future thing is always a possibility, but it's also where you're tapping in that particular moment. You know, you could take, if we had done this tomorrow or yesterday, it would be a different reading.
All right, so I'm emotionally unavailable. Let's tap into my emotional unavailability, you know.
Okay. Great. So first thing you're going to do is, did we do this already? No, you didn't cut the cards.
No, I've not.
Great. So you're going to tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. So I think that the best, we're going to pull 3 cards. I think the best spread to do today, which is sort of the meaning of each of the 3 cards, is called the spread, is what will help you,
Okay.
what will hinder you, and what is your unrealized or your untapped potential.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this first card, this is what will help you. Oh my goodness gracious. It's the King of Cups. It's the King of Emotions. I think this is saying you are not emotionally unavailable. You just have a belief that you are. You have the King of Cups. So remember I said we have each of these 4 suits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cups, that's our feelings, our emotions, and our intuition. And the King is the top, sort of like the top, the highest expression of this suit. It is the fullest expression of this suit. And so this is saying like you have that King energy, that very grounded, stable, foundational emotional foundation is there for you. That's what's going to help you. It's just like knowing that you already have it.
That makes sense. That hits me. It has me deep in my head a little bit.
Uh-huh. Like you might have been emotionally unavailable at one point, but you said you've been going to therapy, you've been doing some work, you've been hosting this podcast and talking to people and having new perspectives coming your way. Like that'll chip away at that unavailability at the heart and open that up.
Yeah, it has. It definitely has. And like, if we're being honest here, let me get a little bit vulnerable. There's definitely been some things that's changed in my life that's made me more emotionally available person because I'm emotional as hell.
Yeah.
But
Many of us are.
I got turtle energy. I got the thick outer shell, but once you break that shell, it's
when's your birthday?
November 18th. I'm a Scorpio.
But I wonder what your rising is. Because that's you're describing a Cancer right there. And so that sort of hard outer shell, and it could go for Scorpio too, very much so, right? The Scorpion, that hard outer shell, the soft gooey stuff's all on the inside. And Scorpios are very, very, very deep. Very deep.
Yeah.
The depth of water there is, and it's again a water sign. King of water, King of Cups.
Okay.
So it's going to help you to just keep diving toward that depth, that availability, anytime like the big feelings start coming on, instead of leaning back from them, leaning into them, which I know is really hard as someone who has feelings that sometimes feel like a tsunami that might actually drown me. But I've survived 100% of the emotional experiences I've had.
Yes, we all have and shit.
Yeah, it's
It's
not gonna
like
kill you.
it's not, and it's just like, do I want to make myself available? For the no, right?
But that's
You know,
what's gonna help you. Hmm.
the no is crazy as we go back to this no, but the no is so important because if you don't get to know, there's this whole chase and this holding back and this.
Well, it's also like a displacement of energy, right?
Mhm.
Like it's a displacement of focus. When you don't get that no, you're continuing, like you say, to push energy and push focus and put like in a direction that's not serving like your best timeline, right? So like let's redirect that energy back to where it can be most helpful and effective.
I'm liking this already.
I'm so glad. That's my pleasure.
Happy I could give that to you.
Thank you. Shall we see what's going to hinder you?
Yeah, let's see what's gonna hinder me.
All right. Oh, yeah. So this is the Seven of Swords. So
Okay.
remember, our swords are that's like our air, that's our mental. So that's knowledge, intellect, language, communication, technology, all of that.
Okay.
We see this seven, this guy's sort of like running off with five swords. The seven's all about uh, mistruths.
Okay.
It's all about keeping information hidden from yourself or others. So this is saying what's going to hinder you is some of that misdirection that we were talking about, but
Okay.
also like not being fully truthful, not bringing 100% of your truth in every moment, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels not good.
Oh man, we don't want to tell. We don't. You want to avoid the conflict if you can, and just keep some stuff hidden, right? It's not going
No,
to.
not at all. This is literally saying hiding things is going to hinder you. Literally what this card says. Hiding things will hinder you. It will only make things worse.
Oh
Not
man.
necessarily worse, but like harder and more challenging and less pleasurable and enjoyable. And like, why would you want that? Like, why would you not want as much ease and joy and pleasure and play and delight? And right? Like, why wouldn't we want these higher vibrations?
I don't have a good answer for you. That's
Because we want them.
I'm triggered.
Thank you for sharing that.
That hits home.
Mm-hmm.
It really hits home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of at a loss for words right now because I'm
Mm,
over your process. I got the wheels
mm-hmm.
spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like shit. You're definitely talking to me, Miss Emily.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not even one doing the talking, big baby. Like, this is you. I'm just channeling this shit. This is all coming. This is information you already hold within yourself. You know this. You know that the thing that's going to help you is diving more deeply into the depths of your feelings, your instincts, your emotions, your intuition. Like, that is going to help. You know, at your core, that is helpful. You know, at your core, hiding shit is not going to help you. You know that. It's just
Yeah.
you're just reaffirming it for yourself.
Framing it is everything. And, I like at the beginning when we talked about this, it's about the cards help you realize things that you already know, kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
focus your energy on these things.
Mm-hmm.
And of the three cards that we've already pulled, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have something to walk away from when we're
Mm-hmm.
done here.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I'm glad. So we have one more, like you said, and this card is your untapped potential. So
Okay.
like this is something that you have access to that you haven't even begun to scratch the surface of. Mm. This is the star. So this is a major arcana card.
Okay.
The star comes a little more than 2/3 of the way through the major arcana. So you can see here it's numbered 17, so it's the 18th card. And this is the card that comes immediately after what many think is the scariest card of the tarot, which is the Tower card. The Tower card is the moment where it all comes crumbling down. And the star is that moment of hope in the aftermath of everything crumbling, where you can see that you're now going to be rebuilding from a much stronger foundation. You have so we said that the major arcana is the human soul's evolutionary journey, right? Mm-hmm. So we start out on this journey as this very trusting fool. We learn some lessons from teachers, from parental type figures, from spiritual and religious leaders, from relationships, from our own inner strength, from like going within, experiencing sort of like the turns of fortune, seeing how things can weigh out. Like, right, we're going through all this process, these learnings, learning how to transform one thing into another, learning about loss and about our shadows and about how everything can come crumbling down. And then we get to this point where it's like, but I still have some hope. It's like that pinprick of light at the end of the tunnel. That's the star.
Okay.
Yeah. And this card is inverted, right? It's upside down. So some people like to read inversions, some people don't. A lot of people might read them as like the negative expression of the card. So this would say like, there is no hope. No, that's not how I read this.
Okay.
Because I believe that every card holds the full expression, right, of the spectrum of its meaning.
Okay.
My favorite way to read inversions is that it's the internal expression. So it's like you haven't even begun to see your own star shine yet.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Mm-hmm. But for yourself, big baby, has nothing to do with anybody else. It's for you, of you, for you.
Yo.
And you haven't even scratched the surface.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate this experience because, and I'll say to anybody listening that if you don't see that, like I'm at a loss for words right now because I'm actually like deep in thought and I'm trying to like balance these thoughts that I'm having about these cards and still do a productive podcast. Not the easiest thing in the world, but let's compartmentalize for a second. If nothing to take away from this was 15, 20 minutes of just introspection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at yourself and saying, how does this apply to me and where can I get better, right? Hey, just be emotional and fuck how it makes people feel. Like, I mean, obviously respect boundaries, but like don't hold back who you are because right, you are who you are and they're gonna love it or they're gonna hate it for the most part, right? You don't gotta sneak around, just tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're gonna take it or they're gonna leave it, but give people the opportunity to make decisions for the real you. And I kind of concluded with the untapped potential is if you focus in on these things, then there is hope, and the star does shine brighter, because you're not holding back things that are truly natural. Like that's how I understand it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
It is.